Benazir Bhutto's return was a victory for democracy. Comebacks, after all, are her specialty. She's been the first woman prime minister in the Muslim world.
मैं बेनज़ीर भुट्टो
सिद्ध के दिल से हल्फ उठाती हूँ
Elected twice and self-exiled twice. Now at 54, she's back for another try. People were dressed in the red, black, and green colors, and there was a carnival atmosphere, with music playing and food stalls in place. The Charter of Democracy committed between PPP and PMLN to struggle against dictatorship and on coming to power to do away with the distortions made in the Constitution. The PPP started its political journey at its founding convention held in Lahore on November 30th, December 1st, 1967. The party was formed to establish democracy and the application of socialist ideas to realize economic and social justice, roti, kapra, aur makan. The basic principles of the PPP are: Islam is our faith, democracy is our politics, socialism is our economy, all power to the people. Through a 42-year political struggle, the PPP has undoubtedly become a defining political tradition of the masses of Pakistan. This tradition is committed to Shaheed Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's vision of a pluralistic society. It was Shaheed Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto who realized the need for political reconciliation in order to promote and strengthen democracy in Pakistan.
That is for me, because I have never seen this entire struggle, which was the struggle against dictatorship, as a personal struggle. It was the struggle of the people of Pakistan.
In the wake of successive military rule over the last 60 years, anti-people forces felt insecure against the wave of support for the PPP, which was sure to win the national and provincial assembly elections. They turned a momentous victory of the working class into a mass mourning. The political acumen of President Zardari and the national slogan of "Democracy is the best revenge" redirected the national grief and anger into a resolve to continue their martyred leaders' struggle for democracy, peace, freedom, and reconciliation. PPP-led democratic government resumed its journey with the dreadful legacies of military rule. By encroaching on the domain of a provincial administration, a system of decentralized military rule was engineered in the name of much-trumpeted devolution plans. Local communities were reluctant to own the campaign against militancy, and results remained dismal. The paradigm of Charter of Democracy and the PPP's Election Manifesto 2008, which provided the philosophy and action plan for the people's government to follow once in power. Restoration of the judiciary was the first step of the people's government in a long journey to protect and promote an independent judiciary, to restore people's confidence in the system of criminal justice administration.
मैं गिरफ्तार शुदा आला अदलिया के जज साहबान को फौरी रिहा करने का हुक्म करूंगा।
With unprecedented successes in its fight against terrorism achieved during the last 2 years, today, the People's Government is demanding the international community to do more for Pakistan instead. It has made it clear to the international community that Pakistan is willing and sincerely desirous to establish regional peace and cooperation with all its neighbors. President Asif Ali Zardari thwarted the existential challenges faced by the Federation with the help of the process of political reconciliation and following the principles of pluralist politics. A new economic growth strategy is embodied in the government's 9-point plan, which seeks to foster sustainable and more equitable growth by means of structural improvements in the productive sectors of Pakistan's economy.
अवामी हुकूमत की ये कोशिश है कि तुर्कमेनिस्तान से गैस आए ताकि हमारे लोगों को खाली 14% लोगों को गैस ना फ्राहम हो बल्कि पूरी कौम को गैस फ्राहम हो.
This vision was seen by our late leader, Shahid Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto, 16 years ago.
Historically, Balochistan was treated by non-representative forces. But the people's government has shifted the paradigm by Aghaz-i-Haqooqe-Balochistan in an exciting beginning to the desired institutional sustainability for an equitable federation, where right is not relief, but it is enforceable. Gilgit Baltistan Empowerment and Self-Governance Order 2009. The people's government restored the identity of the region by changing its name from northern areas to Gilgit Baltistan. The people's government believes in the supremacy of the parliament as it represents the will of the people. Beginning with abolishing the Pemra black laws introduced by the last military regime in November 2007, the people's government has encouraged the democratic dissent of media.
हमने मीडिया को एज इंडस्ट्री सपोर्ट किया है. हमारी तारीख ये भी है कि हर दौर में हर हुकूमत से ज्यादा हम आपके साथ खड़े हुए हैं. इसलिए हमारा ये यकीन है कि एक आजाद मीडिया, आजाद जिम्मेदार मीडिया के बगैर जमहूरियत मुस्तकम नहीं हो सकती.
The people's government has achieved its foreign policy objectives by making assertive efforts to strike equilibrium of power bilaterally, regionally, and globally. BISP to dispense 70 billion cash assistance directly and regularly to needy women and their family. The government is providing easy credit facilities to deserving families, pursuing its policy agenda of promoting economic liberalism that also gives social equity to the underprivileged. The people's government has introduced BESOS to make workers 12% stakeholders in their organization's growth and development. Benazir subsidized tractor scheme for small farmers. Rehabilitation of 3 million terrorism-hit IDPs with smart cards. The people's government is working for the social protection of the labor class and gave permanent status to the contract employees. First time in the history of Pakistan, the people's government has allocated 10% reservation for women in civil service and 10% job allocation for minorities.
That there should be no discrimination on any grounds, and in a People's Party government there will be no discrimination against women or against minorities or against ethnic groups.
Despite financial difficulties, the people's government has increased salaries of employees by 50% and a 100% increase in salaries of armed forces and law implementation forces. Since the Great Flood hit Pakistan in July, many millions of people have been displaced, evacuated, stranded, or lost their homes. Numerous roads, schools, and health infrastructure destroyed. Infectious diseases are rising sharply, but people's government's commitment to stand shoulder to shoulder with the people by providing cash assistance to them through Vatan cards. Establishment of Disaster Oversight Council to speed up the reconstruction work. People's government is working for the people of Pakistan, and the people's government is accountable to people who elected them for 5 years. Despite propaganda, people are re-electing PPP's candidates who represent the people's confidence on the people's government.